Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing you the decisive set 3 in this Group K of the Bacchus OSL between Zero and Hogil. So this is going to be a battle to see who advances to the round of 16. This is for the round of 16 in the OSL. We got Zero in the bottom left in red, Hogil at the 12 o'clock position in blue. This is Aztec, the other start position is in the bottom right, should not come into play, but there it is, and both players are going to be scouting each other first. This is Aztec, which is a Pro League map, so if you've been watching my cast, you should know it. It is the one with reverse ramps. So you've got your main on the low ground and your natural on the high ground, and then you come out of your main and you've got a big broad ramp. If you're looking from Zero's position, the big broad ramp heads north to a mineral only, and there's a big broad ridge basically that goes to the mineral only to the north, and to the bottom left or to the bottom right there would be a tiny ramp that goes to a gas expansion. And at that point you should have a rather good idea of the map. The rest of it should become a clearer picture for you. The middle of the map is very wide open, but I imagine that most of this game will take place in the upper left half. If you can take a diagonal cut from the top right to the bottom left of the mini map, there probably won't be very many units crossing that line. This is going to be a pretty focused game, I would think, in this top left half, and that happens a lot on 3-player maps when you start out like this. Even on 2-player, actually, even in ZVZ in general, you generally only use about half the map, except for the random straight overlord, things like that. Looks like we've got, what is that, an overpool with gas, it looks like, from Hogil, and Zero looked like he went for a 12 pool, I believe. That's what it looked like, a 12 pool with gas. I believe. 3, 6, 9. Yep, that's what it looks like. Looks like that's about right. And there's the gas is completed, and there's the hatchery has come down for both players. Actually, no, they may have both done overpool, both done 12 pool. So yeah, they're gonna have mirror builds actually, not slightly off. And this is going to be very similar to what we saw on Pathfinder in Game 1, actually. Very similar. We're probably going to see some pretty passive play right at the very start until the second hatchery comes close to finishing, and then you might see some Zerglings being produced en masse. But for the most part, I think early on you're going to see mostly drones, although here, look, just to prove me wrong, there they go, producing some Zerglings. I would have thought that they would have played this a lot like they played Pathfinder, and gone defensive, waited for their opponent to build Zerglings, and then countered with their own Zerglings, and waited until the second hatchery came, and then produced more Zerglings to be aggressive. But it looks like both players producing some, Zero producing a couple more a little bit earlier than Hogil, and Hogil looked like he was going to try and defend that little narrow ramp, but decided not to. Looks like he's going to go and pull back, defend his natural expansion, and here comes Zero with just 4 Zerglings. So this isn't a concentrated pressure by any sort of the means, but what this could do is it could force Hogil to use another egg or two on Zerglings that he may not have wanted to do, which could actually end up letting Zero sneak in a couple counter drones, which would be very nice for him. And really, in ZVZ, at the beginning stages of the game, if you're not going for a quick victory, if you're not going to build a 9-pool gas, or if you're not going to build a ton of Zerglings, it's basically a game of seeing who can manipulate the other to create an opening where they can sneak in a couple extra drones and try and get that just a little bit of an advantage in mining, or get a couple extra drones where they can get that second gas up, and without falling behind in terms of drone count. And that's the battle that goes on in ZVZ for most of the beginning stage, and Zero just darting in there with those Zerglings was kind of cool. Didn't lose any, but just darting around. And you can see that Hogil is up to about 8 or 10 Zerglings here, but has not overcommitted, I don't think. We do see that Zero is up by 1 on the side count. Looks like he was probably able to sneak in 1 drone. And we'll see how effective or how big of a difference that 1 drone ends up making. We do have spires coming in for both players. This is so mirrored. Like, you can look at the gas, and the gas is virtually the same. The minerals are slightly different, off by about 150 or so in Zero's favor. So that's about the only thing that is different right now between the two players. And Zero has pulled back, and he's produced a lot of Zerglings there at his big ramp to defend his natural expansion. Looks like he's decided to go a little bit more defensive and has thrown up his second gas. Hogil has not done that yet. So Zero going for that second gas. Looks like he's building some Mutalisks. Both players should be building Mutalisks right now as fast as they can. And Zero going to play defense here. He's got a lot of Zerglings there to defend. He should be able to do so pretty effectively. Hogil should not be too effective with this this Zergling push. Looks like the numbers are pretty close. And Zero, there we go. There's the Mutalisk out for Zero, so he'll be able to help in that case, in that sense as well. And here comes the Scourge for Hogil. So Hogil coming in here hoping to force Zero to micro the Mutalisk and then maybe be able to get a concave around his Zerglings. And it looks like that's what he's done. Is that going to be enough? Will he come away with enough of a victory to actually do some damage? And he is going to come away with a huge victory in terms of the Zergling count, coming away with a ton more Zerglings than Zero in this fight. But the Mutalisks are out for Zero. Now, how well will he be able to defend? Looks like he's fighting off the Scourge very, very well. Looks like he's kept the losses of drones very, very minimal as well. And you can look there at the psi count, and Zero is up by several psi. Looks like he's up by about 3. So it looks like he's going to come ahead here in that engagement. I love having that little psi count counter in the bottom right. That is just amazing, because sometimes it's hard to tell if the balance was necessarily even. And in a ZVZ, if you're ahead in psi count by 7 or so that Zero is, it's pretty unlikely that the composition is actually ending up hurting you, particularly after that engagement. So Zero's got to be pretty happy at this point, taking that early lead in that engagement that looked like it could have ended up very, very poorly, but he does come away looking pretty good. Also able to pop an Overlord, so that's an Overlord that Hogil is going to have to reproduce at some point. He's starting to near that 34 barrier that Zero has actually already exceeded. So really at this point, Zero should come away with a victory, and he does get 2 drone kills there. It looks like, yeah, it looks like he got 2 more drone kills. So he is just playing very, very well right now, Zero, taking advantage of all the little things in ZVZ to sneak Zerglings in and catch a drone here and there. He's trying to sneak his own drones in, and just doing a very, very nice job right now. And we'll see how this game evolves. As long as his Muto Micro stays sharp, Zero should be able to come away with a victory here. And he's microing against the Scourge right now, doing a pretty good job. Doesn't look like any Scourge have been able to land. And now he's kind of running away from Hogil's Mutalisk a lot as he's trying to micro against these Scourge. So he's taking a lot of hits from the Mutalisk, and I don't know if that might not have been the best idea. But Zero was able to sneak a couple more Zerglings into the base of Hogil, and looks like they were able to get a couple of drones. Yeah, you do see that Zergling with 2 kills. So, yeah, able to sneak a couple more drone kills behind the play. So, once again, Zero coming away with very, very good work here. And Zero doing a great, great job here and just building a very, very nicely. It looks like he's up by 4 or 5 drones at this point, maybe more. And Hogil's going to have to do some counter damage, and here comes Hogil. Looks like he's going to come in to try and do some damage. Looks like Hogil was able to get 1 drone, and the Scourge, a couple landing for Hogil, it looks like, but not too many overall. And 0-0-0, it's in just still in wonderful, wonderful shape to close this out. I would not be surprised at all to see Zero actually upgrading armor for his Mutalisk and looking to finish this game by getting that armor upgrade. That would probably be wise of him. And here comes Hogil. Looks like he's going to try and get another drone or 2 of Zero, and not quite able to do so, but he is coming in with some Zerglings as well to try and sneak a couple kills. And will they be able to do so? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt that they'll be able to get any kills here. But here comes Hogil with the Mutalisk again. So showing some nice strategy, some nice tactics with his Mutalisk Zergling combination after Zero was taking him to school with that tactic combination. Hogil doing some counter damage and evening up the drone count just a little bit. Zero's drones were able to stay alive for a little bit longer, so even though they may have been evened out, Zero definitely still coming away with the overall advantage. But Hogil doing a lot of good work there to even it out. Another Overlord going down for Hogil. Zero taking a couple Mutalisk hit for his trouble to take it down. But still, always Overlord kills are good, forcing your opponent to waste that larva and to possibly delay their production just that long. Zero looks like he's going to try and get another one very, very close. And a lot of Scourge for Zero, actually. So Hogil's got to be very, very careful. That is a ton of Scourge that Zero has available to him. And Zero eats a Scourge there, it looks like. And here comes a ton of Scourge to take on Hogil's Mulus. Zero really could just turn around and take out a ton of drones. I don't know where he's going. He's taking out a ton of drones and then head home. But it looks like he's too concerned. He looks like he's very concerned about possibly allowing these Mulus into his own base. I don't like this play from Zero. These Mulus for Zero are doing virtually nothing. They're really not having any influence on the game right now, and oh man, this is really not very cool for Zero. I don't know what he's thinking with this, but I guess he is able to corner a couple of the Mulus for Hogil and land a couple Scourge. But overall, I mean, I think he could have done a little bit better. Ooh, nice scatter there by Hogil, able to scatter his Mulus. And Zero looks like he lost a ton of drones here behind. Once again, as I've been saying, behind the play. Once again, Hogil able to sneak some Zerglings in and able to get several kills on the drones. And really, Zero should have not. This should not be happening. The Evolution Chamber is up for Hogil, getting a couple Spore Colonies up. This should not have happened. Zero should not have allowed Hogil to manipulate him like this and allow him to draw those Mulus away and get these time enough to get 2 Spore Colonies up. That is absolutely ridiculous. Really, really bad play by Zero, but to let his Mulus do that. He should have just been able to turn around and take down all those drones, and man, here come the Mulus for Hogil, taking down the rest of the drones. So Zero's got no more drones left, and doesn't have the minerals to produce any more drones. So that's it for Zero. Zero's got what he's got, and that basically means that Hogil is gonna win. I mean, the hell? I mean, wow. I can't. This would be an amazing comeback for Hogil to come back and win this, but at the same time, I gotta say that this is kind of Zero throwing the game away. And here comes Zero with pretty much all of his forces trying to come in here and do as much damage as he can, trying to take down the Spire, trying to take down the Spore Colonies, trying to maneuver around the drones. Is his Zerglings going to be enough? That's the question. Looks like the Spire is almost down. Only one drone right now for Hogil that I can see. Looks like the Spire is just about fallen. The Spire has gone down. All the Zerglings for Zero are down. And Zero just